now that we practiced the technique from the last video that I showed you in the last video, now we are ready to do a beautiful painting of flowers. Negative painting is something that we use for backgrounds, for in between, for even petals. We use it all the time in watercolor. If you get good at it, your watercolors will improve a lot. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello again. For today's painting, we're gonna be using the following colors. We're gonna be using the translucent orange by Schmincke. We're gonna be using a little bit of the pearl red light by QOR, Cobalt turquoise by Winsor and Newton, and cobalt blue violet. Maybe a little bit of the greens that I have here in my palette. We will see for the background. We're gonna be painting some daffodils. I hope I pronounce it right. And this is a continuation of the negative painting, so we're gonna be relying heavily on that technique, as well as a new one that I haven't talked about it yet, which is called the Lost and Found. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start painting the center of these flowers. The rest of the flowers are going to be coming with the technique that we call negative painting. So I guess you could say that if you have negative painting, then this other way itself may be called positive painting. I don't know. But I do like to be positive, so hey, let's just call it like that, or we just paint. The most important thing is that we're gonna start doing it like the center and the regular traditional color in my brush. Daffodils, and I'm not an expert on flowers by no means, but they have a rigid center, so I'm trying not to go straight. And I'm coming now with water, and I'm bleeding this color, bringing it to the center. So we have nice variations. And now with only water in my brush, I'm going from the opposite to pick up a little bit of that. So I'm also having that. And this is called a little bit of the lost and found edge, meaning we have a sharp edge, then it seems like it's kind of getting lost. I'm going with now diluted, same color, but diluted, meaning more water. And we're gonna put some over here, because I do want to have this sense feeling of not everything being round. So go like that, and once again I'm bringing water. I'm going to go ahead and put some here on this center, and because this is wet, the paint is also going to spread a little bit over there, and I like that, so we are kind of looking for that. We're going to leave a little bit of white, but not that much white. And now once again, just with the brush that has water, I can bring some of that. All right. We need to do one more thing while this is wet so that the colors will blend on the paper. And do our red, pearl red, which I also happen to have here in my palette, and fairly thick. I'm gonna put some here on the edges. I am not gonna go onto every single edge. I'm skipping, I'm skipping some, putting a few more, and so on. And I'm also gonna bring some of that in this area where it's lighter. Let's just do maybe one more over here. And again, I'm gonna wet my brush and just dump, not a whole lot of water. I don't want to bring more water when this is already starting to blend, but I do want to dry, excuse me, but I do want the blending to happen. So, okay, this same color, now we go here on the center. Centers of these flowers are darker. So, let's bring some of this, like that. Very pretty. Violet, and put a little darker of that here. Violet with red. It's gonna give me maybe a little bit. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. We have one flower done. One center of the flower done. We're gonna let that dry. We're gonna move on to do the other one. One with color, one with water, and we're gonna go ahead and do basically the same thing we did that, but slightly different. We wanna have this a little bit lighter, if you will. So let's just, oops, I got red out here. That's okay. We're gonna bring the red. So I'm gonna bring some of my water from the get-go, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring some of these and little lines towards the center. Got a big blob of water. Let's take it up. And now I'm going with the orange once more. Let's get some of this one. Now around here. Okay, so now that I got this, bring it closer, slightly closer to the center. And now let's switch to our red. So I'm picking it from here, and I'm gonna put it right on the edge, maybe a little bit thicker paint, meaning more concentrated. Okay, a little, let's do this edge. I'm gonna put some on this edge where it has no orange, and then I'm gonna bring it so with water, so it's a little bit red on these lighter centers that we've been having. And now we got orange, red, and this little transition of orange and red. Good. Let's just put, since I have it on my brush, let's just put a little bit over there as well. And this time I'm going with the water on this other direction. So we got the red out there on the top, and now we're gonna get it here on the bottom. 2. Back to the orange. Let's put it around here. Maybe a slightly thicker. This one seems to be too watered down. Okay. There it goes. We aiming here for being a little bit loose. Some people love loose flowers, and some other people like the more tight, I don't know, realistic flowers, you could say. I mean, these are very realistic too, so I don't think that's the right term, but more tight. And I like to paint them both up a little bit more on the putting all the details, because I enjoy putting the details, but I have fun doing it this way. And since I'm a teacher, I like to teach all of the different ways, and then you pick the one that you like the most. However, in order to know if you like one more than the other, you're gonna have to try them all. And that's how we know which one you like or not. As you can see, I just apply them orange, then I'm going back to the red. Let's just put a little bit of red, maybe there more on the center. Trying to leave a little bit of white, but I don't want everything white either. So let's just water, water, water. And when I'm doing this, I'm picking a little bit of color on the tip of my brush. So with that color, I'm gonna bring it here. And watercolor, you guessed it, dries lighter. So then this is gonna give us hints. All right, once again, the center of these flowers needs to be a little bit of white, but not this much. So I'm coming back with orange. We were having a little bit of red, now we go with the orange. I am leaving a tiny bit of the white and there in the center. Some of these little lines. Red. Oops, give too much of one and not enough of the other. Red. And we will bring a little bit of our purple as well. Let's bring some of that. Very nice. I want to mark these lines a little bit more. We don't have, maybe around here. Okay, so I did it in this part and I'll leave that alone. Very good. Okay, so now we're gonna start with the petals, painting the petals of the flowers, and we're gonna do this using the negative painting technique. This is my turquoise. What is it called? It's called Cobalt turquoise. And we're also gonna have the cobalt blue violet. Let me put it over here. And I will use a mix of greens just for variation. And what mix? The ones that I have here in my palette, I have the sap green, I have a little bit of the olive green, so we will bring some of these ones here as well. All right, let's start. For example, my hand goes from here to here, so let's start here in the top. Let's get a little bit of the cobalt blue, the turquoise, cobalt turquoise. I'm having one with water, one that carries quite a bit of water actually. We're going to paint the petals by using the negative painting. What does that mean? I'm going to paint around the petals and my petals are going to appear. So I go with that. I go with water. I'm directing the water how the shape of the petals will be. I'm waiting that. Okay, so let's just bring a little more. Now there I started in the wet, but I have water, so then this water is going to make my color, same color, but it's going to make it appear like it is lighter. So let's just bring a little bit of the purple, the cobalt violet. Let's put some over here too. And oh, this is such a lovely combination. I love the cobalt and the turquoise. Now, I don't want to have every petal totally marked. So over here, now I can bring some water and just give impression. If I have the purple on the top, I should have a little bit of the cobalt here too. So let's just do that. Okay, nice. Let's pretend that one side is a little bit lighter than the other. So let's just go from light to darker. Let me get a little bit of the colors that we were in the center, perhaps other two, just had a little bit of that orange. I don't want to do too much because orange and purple can get a little muddy, but I think that gives a little bit of loveliness. Let's just put, since I have it on my brush, put a little bit over here, and now you see how this petal is forming very, very nicely. And one thing that we can do is, because in white flowers, some of the colors that are here reflect, or they are around it, reflect on the petal. So later we can come with some of these colors and put them out there too. So now I'm going to start bringing another color, which is going to be a little bit of these greens, mix of olive greens and leftovers, sap green out there too. Okay, and let's go back to this one. See all the water that I put over there? Push my turquoise in. So now it still is wet, so let me drop a little bit out and do the same thing here. And now over here, I'm gonna start forming another petal. This is, as you can see here, is like a sharp petal, and then over here it's kind of like nothing. This is the lost edge, and I guess those can be the found, because it's called lost and found. So I'm bringing some of this hint of colors here, picking it up in the tip of my brush, and then I'm also going to bring some of those over here, giving the impression of the petals, but also in a soft edge, lost and found. I have that over there. Just have fun with it. I'm not following any, I'm making this up as I'm going. I'm not having any preconceived, other than painting the negative space to have these these petals coming up, and not having any idea of like, oh, I'm gonna do this ahead of time, or no, just I'm making it up as I go. You could say. All right. So if I have that, let's get the purple, but let's get the purple now a little bit thicker and put it darker. So I feel like we should bring a dark color, and this time I'm gonna have the form of a petal defined. So since I'm gonna go with water, I'm trying to go with enough paint that when I bring the water, I don't get it too diluted. I'm trying to push it, and if I have that around, I don't want to make a circle. So these ones are all going to be pushed to the side. And let's just bring some of the turquoise. Actually, let's put some of that over here too. And let it go. I have a little bit of that lovely color over here. Let's just bring some over here too, because it is actually very pretty. And we can bring it. And let's just bring this green right here. If you don't have this green, just any green that you have around, just a contrast color. I mean, you could also do blues if you wanted it. I don't want to keep going in that direction. Now we're going to go more straight. And let's bring the purples once again. Oops, the purple and the green, they were too wet. You see, it gave me mud. So let's get the turquoise instead. Turquoise and greens are more on the same family, more harmonious. So let's do that. And here we could go, like if there are stems perhaps. Can you see how my flowers, my petals are forming by using the negative painting technique? And that is lovely. Okay, so now this was kind of round. Now everything is like too spread out here. So I'm going to bring water. I mean, too similar. So I'm going to bring water. And breaking that up a little bit. Okay. Let's go back to our oranges. And actually, we could bring a little bit of the reds that we had, and since we have it in the center too. What will be a good place to put an orange? I have some over there. This is kind of dry, so I should not go there. Let's just drop a little there. We had to do something with the centers of the flowers as well, obviously, and we will bring these colors there. Let's say that we put some here. I go with a lot of water. Let's pretend that this is where most of the flowers and the leaves are. And let's see if bringing our turquoise will not make us matte. I don't know. I'm not sure. No, it's not making us matte. So we can bring that as here too. Let's kind of fill up this area here. Okay. Back to this olive mix of greens that we were having here, and it will go very nicely against the orange. And now we're making more petals, you can see, but these are getting a little, let's just lift some. I'm getting a little bit of too many hard edges, so I'm gonna, since this is wet, I'm gonna bring some of those colors, again, the lost and found, and I'm gonna bring slightly, I don't wanna keep dragging it, so I'm going opposite direction and water, and we're gonna bring that over here. So this petal maybe is a little bit more in the back. Since a little bit of that water came here, let's just do the same thing here. Go a little bit of this color. This is like taking advantage of a little accident. That's what it's called. No, it's also the lost and found. But in watercolor, you know, sometimes whatever the water wants to go, it's okay to take advantage of those and paint alongside the colors, what the colors want to do. Okay, here, remember I brought it in, but then I stopped a little, so getting like a hard edge. I'm going with my water, and then I'm trying to lift it with my paint, with my paper. I don't want that to happen over here, so in these edges, I go with water, and then I lift. So let's just start from here, and then I'm going with my brush that only has water, and then I'm gonna go up. Let's do a little more color, and I'm gonna bring it to the edge. I'm gonna bring some of this edge here to the top. Let me go once more. I don't want too much water because that water comes over here, and I don't want all those reds activated. But what I'm gonna do is a little variation, so let's just bring some of these lovely greens and maybe put some light at the edge. Now, if they're there, I'm gonna dilute, and I'm gonna make that color and the turquoise blend a little. And you see now this petal starts to feel, is feeling a little bit more finished. And then just go with water and have this petal, oops, it came into this other one. This white petal here reflecting the colors of the center. Here with water. Spread that color. Let's get a little bit of this green. Put a little bit on it. And do some blending too. Now I'm bringing some of the colors that were in the outside to the inside. And let's just pretend is this background, is this petal? We don't know, but I don't like this. This is okay, but this is too sharp. So since I have orange out there, let's just bring some of this orange. And now that all of this is wet, let's pretend that it's background. And that looks more natural to me. Water. We do one here too. Now, when you go with the blending, it's important. That's what I always use, the two brush technique. Then you go right away, otherwise you will have a hard edge, and then you will have a hard time taking that hard edge out. Okay, kind of liking it like that. So I have a lot of color here. Let's just go dark in the outside and leave this kind of like undefined. More of the greens, because we have them here. Let's just bring them around here. How about we go here, like this. I want the lost and found edge. So this is what I bring in it. I want to go into the petal light. Light, the petals. And maybe they are petals. Maybe they are a couple. Let's put a little hint of that color right here too. So maybe it's one in this direction and then one from this other flower. We don't know. We're just making it as we go. Let's get green. I got green. Well, let's just go with the orange here. This is still a little wet, so maybe I shouldn't wait. Let's wait a little. But since I already started it, I do have to come with water. Otherwise, I will have the hard edge that I was talking to you about. And it has already formed on my green. So we put the orange. Now I'm gonna go and have to drop green to kill that hard edge. I'm going. I have it kind of like cauliflower right here, but it still is wet, so I'm gonna come and I can take it out. Impression maybe of another petal. So now let's just bring purples. We haven't got the purples in a long time. And you see how now my flower is coming, my petals. And look, we're gonna do another lost and found edge here. All right, so all of this is gonna be revised once the dryness here, taking all the water out. Once this dries a little bit, because I wanna make darker here, but I don't want the dark to trouble. So what color I have in my palette? My brush, a little bit of the purple. So let's just pretend like there's a petal here and there's another one here. Okay. Again, I don't have water. I'm just using this blending with whatever humidity is around here. I could perhaps go slightly darker here and bring it up. Okay, nice. I have a little bit of orange there, so why don't we bring it here too? We got 3. Want these to, all those colors to come over here, so what I'm gonna do now is get the hair dryer and then I'm gonna dry this so that we can come with the final dark colors on the edge. However, before I do that, I could do a little bit of something with this. It's a little bit too loose. So what color do I have here? Orange? That's okay. We can bring some of that color here. I'm wetting. Water, light it up, maybe a little bit of red, light it up. I go like that, then I go with water all the way here to the edge, and if I have so much purple there, I should have a little bit of that reflected here too. So imagine this is one edge, one petal. This is another petal. Again, impressions, nothing's to this this purple got a little that white here. I don't like it. So let's just bring it more to this complete edge. And now I am getting the hair dryer and then we finish this. So right now our painting, I dry it and our painting will be done. This is lovely as it is. As you can see by doing all the painting around, the petals have come. We haven't done much in the petals other than filling up some of the colors. Now, my original idea was to go a little bit darker. So let's just do it only because to see how how it changes, or if it changes at all. But I think that as it is right now, this is just like very good. The only thing is I like this area wide, but it seems like I have a highway here with 2 lines. So I'm gonna try with a brush that is a little bit harder. These brushes that carry a lot of water are too soft, so I need to do one that's a little bit harder. These synthetics, the petals are great for that. And I'm just gonna break this a little bit. Okay, so now I bring a little bit of water, but I don't wanna, I want this kind of more on the white side. So I'm just gonna drop more like that. And then just with water. Basically the whole point is just to stop the big line, because I have one there and I have one over here. Okay, if I was gonna go darker, I will go darker here. Just water. I just touch, and because when I touch, I carry color, excuse me. I just wanna dilute what I wanted and leave it alone. So I'm gonna put some of that color here. And I will bring some of the olive green maybe closer to the edge. And now I can refine the petal like that. So this petal comes over there, and this one comes over here. See how now this is coming? I can bring that color. Nice. I'm gonna lose that edge, and then I'm gonna bring a little of that color here. Got a little bit of that inside here, so I'll just how it changes, if any. Let's bring some of the purple here too. And tap, tap, tap with the tip of my brush. Wherever I bend with the water, I'm having another kind of hard edges, so let's take that out. And this one, I'm bringing it closer. So go like that, go like this, and where my water has stopped, I go with paper and stop it so I don't get the hard edge. And let's just bring some of this purple onto this corner. I feel like it is too orangey. So let's go over there. Let's go with water, activate that color. Again, that was my other freeway, so let's just curve this a little bit. And now we bring that purple. All right, so let's just say that this is one petal that goes like this from the big brush. Then, I mean, for this flower, let's just say that there's another flower, another petal from this front flower, and this one comes over here. So I'm drawing now the petals with my brush using the negative technique. Okay, need more water, get the tip of my brush to define this a little more dark, and now I'm gonna lose that edge into here. because I was having the orange and the greens, my purple kind of got muddy. So I'm gonna bring it bright, and this part of the paper that is white. Again, this is just to change it slightly because I liked it the way it was before. And once again, I'm getting a hot edge, so with my hotter brush, I'm gonna break that out. I go with only water and then soften that. And then with clean paper, we're gonna lift that. Okay? So we're gonna do kind of like what I did over there. I bring water, and then just with the tip of my brush, I get a little hints. And then we let it do what it wants. Oh, I like this a lot. Okay. Like I say many times, knowing when to stop is good. Perhaps I lost a little bit of the gorgeous turquoise, so let's find a way maybe to bring some over here. Tap it up with water. And okay, so now I'm going to have a big line. Just break it up. And the turquoise around these two. Maybe we can put some over here. Still is humid. For unity. And I have some over here. It's kind of diluted. All right, I'm really gonna start fiddling. I feel like you reach a point where you are not adding much, and if anything, sometimes you take away because you made mud. So I did put that one, so now I had to dilute it. I don't want to have a hard edge here because it seems like a petal is lost and found. So I'm lifting some of that color, but I'm allowing some of that turquoise to show. So now this turquoise, lovely color, I have it up in the side, a little bit here and lightly here, and very settled over there. So we have it everywhere. All right, our painting is done. I hope that you that you give it a try. It's a lot. So what do you think about this way of painting flowers? Let me know in the comments if you liked it, if you enjoy it. Either way, if at least I clarified to you what negative painting it is, and please don't shy away from it. The more you practice, the better you're gonna get at it. So practice them, and you will see how your watercolors get better in a short period of time. I'll see you next time.